Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing another rabbit video, and it's going to be all about why Harley has 3 legs, why it was amputated, and to help other people whose rabbits are going to have their legs amputated. So I'll start off by explaining why Harley has 3 legs. So we're not entirely sure, but in September 2014 both the rabbits were outside, and when I went outside just to check on them, I heard a thud, so I immediately went in to check on them. And Rex was chasing Harley really quickly, and he rarely does that because they're like best friends, but for some reason they were. And I went in, and Harley jumped on top of their hutch, which they like to do, and I just stroked him and just to calm him down, and he was alright. But then he wasn't really moving much, I noticed. He just kind of stood still, whilst Rex was just munching on grass. He seemed okay though, but then the next day he seemed to be carrying his right hind leg a lot. He seemed like he was in a lot of pain, and the leg looked quite swollen. And then the day after that, whilst I was at school, my mum took him to the vets and found out it was broken, and guessed it was from when Rex was chasing him. So they did the x-rays when my mum got back, and then we went and saw the pictures later on and saw that it was really broken. It was too much of a complicated break to fix it, so they decided that they should amputate it. So then we took Harley to a veterinary hospital, if that's what you'd call it, and they were really nice there, and they gave him lots of anaesthetics and they amputated on his leg. Then a couple of days later, after Harley had recovered a little bit, we collected him and we took him home. So Rex was quite missing him a lot, and he wondered where he was, and when he got back, he went up to him really gently, noticed that he had a missing leg, just had a little look, but realised that he shouldn't be that harsh on Harley. Well, he's not really that harsh, but realised he should be more gentle on Harley. He seemed really protective. Ever since Harley's had his leg amputated, Rex has been really protective over him, and I don't know, it's just, he's really protective. So a couple of days later, he had the stitches taken out, and also had this white bandage patch thingy protecting where his leg was amputated, and that came off too. So when Harley came home, he was scared of going on the lino because of him slipping, because the rabbits live in the kitchen. They have a little area with carpet tiles and fleece and that, and Rex can roam around the whole kitchen, but Harley knows that he'll slip on the lino, so he only really has the fleecy area. But when Harley came back, they didn't have any fleece then, they just had carpet tiles, but we put down a load of towels on there, and we bought a mini corner litter tray for Harley so that it was easier for him to get into, so that he didn't have to jump into the mini cage to get into the litter tray, because they have a cage which is for food, water and litter. We also put down a really long rug which goes from the towel and carpet tile areas into the lounge, so then they can hop into the lounge when we open the door. And with the cage with their food in, it used to have a bar thing and a square mini door thing for them to enter into, but then we took that off because one, they're getting a bit big to fit in that square thing, it's a bit small, and also then in case Harley caught his only back leg, we put down a towel over the edge too, so it's soft. Rex had his food inside the cage and Harley outside, because Harley couldn't quite jump into the cage yet, and also we wanted to make sure that he ate, and Rex didn't eat all of his food because Harley wasn't really eating much hay then, so we went out and picked out a lot of grass from outside, which they both enjoyed, and also dandelion leaves. But Harley was really off food for a while, mainly because of the medicine probably and all the anaesthetics, and he was probably just a bit stressed from losing a leg, because anyone would probably be a bit stressed from losing a leg. So to help with the pain from losing the leg and to stop the wound from getting infected, Harley had to have antibiotics and painkillers to help. So he was on the antibiotics for 10 days, and he had it twice a day. He had it around the time he was fed, and it was through a syringe. So our rabbits, well, some rabbits like to be picked up, well, they don't mind it, but many, because they're prey animals, don't like it. Our rabbits are very, very, very tame, love to be stroked, and Harley tries to come on my lap but can't really. Rex comes on my lap, but they just don't like being picked up. It's just not really something that they enjoy. So Harley didn't really like being picked up to be put on the lap to have the syringe feed. Also, it would be quite stressful having like syringe medicine going into your mouth. So that was quite a struggle, but it needed to be done to make Harley better, and he's all fine now. So Harley is now doing really well. It's been about almost 6 months now, and Harley is doing really well. In the kitchen, on their area now, they don't have all the tiles. They still have their carpet tiles, but we also have fleece now, just because it's cozier, and I got a Christmas one for Christmas decorations, and they really liked it, so now they have a starry one, which they've kind of destroyed, but never mind. And they've also got another mini one. And they still have a mat, but not that big carpet. They have like the mini mat that goes from, that they can hop onto and then hop into the lounge. So no more syringe feed, no more separate food, no more mini litter tray, which Harley never actually went in anyway. He just pooed all over the towels. He now hops into the litter tray. He's all very litter trained, back like normal. He loves his food like normal, goes mental for food. Pellets and carrots are still his favourite. And very importantly, he still eats all his hay. They do have a water bowl outside of the cage now. They used to have just a water bottle, but when Harley did have his leg amputated and it was all set up nicely for him, we put out a water bowl, so he did actually get water, and he got really used to drinking from there. So Harley usually drinks from a water bowl now, and Rex from the bottle. So Harley loves to run around the lounge, and I've got several clips of him where he's running around the lounge, and you can quite clearly see there's no leg, but he does it really well. I think sometimes he tries to binky, but he can't quite do it. Just like he also tries to get on my lap like he used to try and get a treat, or when I try and hand feed him something. Rex manages to get on my lap still, of course, but Harley tries, but he can't quite, so I try not to get Harley on my lap, because I don't want him hurting his only back leg. So Harley is very relaxed. He was always the more laid back rabbit out of the two. Rex is always the running around, binky, everywhere, bold, crazy, mental type of rabbit. Harley does do really well with running around, but he does lie around even more, but it's still good. He always loves to be stroked, and he probably likes it even more now because he loves just relaxing, but he still is able to do many things. March has just started, and on the 1st of March they got to go outside for a little bit in their big run, and they both really enjoyed it out there. And Harley was able to run around outside, munch on grass, munch on hay we put out there. They always like to jump on top of their mini hutch thing. Rex jumped up a couple of times, but I don't think he wanted to leave Harley that much, because when Harley had all 4 of his legs, they both jumped up there all the time. But Rex, I think, tried to spend most of the time around with Harley. Harley didn't jump up though, which is good, because we don't want him hurting his only back leg, which would be really bad, because if he didn't have both of his back legs, then he won't be able to move at all, and that just wouldn't be good at all. But nothing has really changed. Of course it has changed, and things have to be done slightly differently, like the mats to go across into the lounge, and being extra gentle with Harley. All his fur from where it was shaved off when he had his leg amputated has all grown back now. I think, yeah, it's all grown back. But Harley is doing just fine, and he really likes to be stroked, and he still likes all his food. He's back being the food-obsessed rabbit like he used to be. And that's the most important thing, is that he's now doing really well, and he has recovered really well. So that I've just covered Harley's story, but that, I hope, kind of explains, so if your rabbit is going to have their leg amputated. I think if it's a hind leg, it's worse, because rabbits hop and jump, and they use their hind legs to spring. So this one was probably worse than having a front leg amputated, but any leg amputated is bad. So I hope this gives you tips if your rabbit is going to have their leg amputated. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope it all goes well with your rabbit if this is all happening. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.